In this video, I will look at nested queries and save views, how we do this in MySQL using the Workbench. When we're comparing data with calculated values during the runtime of query, we can't do this in one query. We need two queries at least. For example, we have eCity database and we're looking at Black Friday sales of 2016, started on November 20th through 27th. We're going to know which computers sold for more than average sale price of all computers through these days. So we have the individual computer price, we have the average sale price of computers through those days, and we're going to compare them. So we need at least two queries, one of them calculating the average and the other one for retrieving and comparing the prices. First thing we do, we have to create the nested query. So the nested query returns the value, the average we're going to compare the prices to. You know which tables are involved, so we start with calculation of the field that returns the price, sale price, joining and the three tables that are involved, item, sale item, and sale. We need the sale table for the date, item for specs of the computer, and sale item determining that actually the item was sold. So we need to join all of these three tables. And we need to add the criteria. Well, first, the item must be a computer, category must match the computer, and also the sale date between those two dates. So here are the three tables we are joining to retrieve the results. Now we need to save this or use this as a nested query. This query returns just one value. I go to MySQL Workbench, make eCity current database by double-clicking, make sure that I'm working on this database. Create a query and create the query code here in the editor and run the query. Make sure it works fine. It returns the average sale price. Now I can go back and create the main query, use this query as a nested query, or save this by creating a view. First we'll look at a nested query. Now is the time to create the main query. In the main query, we need more data from one more table. We need to return some information about the computers. For example, computer, the operating system, computer type. So in addition to the previous three tables in the main query, we need computer table as well. So return some basic information about the items, which is the computers sold through those days. And then in from clause, we add computer table to the join. So sale, sale item, item, and computer are the tables that are joined. And then we need to add the criteria, sale date between those 2 days, November 20th and 27th, and category being computer. Sale item sale price should be greater than the average, and now we know that the average as a one number returns through the nested query. So basically we just open a pair of parentheses, include that nested query inside, and run the query. This query compares the sale price to the number returned by the nested query and decides which one of those items should be included in the result set. Nested query is processed first, by the query processor, so that number returns first, and then the main query executes and compares those values one by one. Now go back to MySQL Workbench. Here I'm using the same editor that I used for the nested query. Well, on top of the nested query, I'm just copying the code for the main query. And then a pair of parentheses, open and close. Make sure the semicolon is after the last parenthesis to signal the end of the query. And this is the nested query for the main query. We run the entire query and it will return the type of the computer's operating system, list price, brand, category, and stock keeping unit for computers sold for more than the average price during those days. Well, this is one solution for our question. Sometimes we use a nested query frequently, or basically a query answering a question. We use it frequently. So what we do here, we can save that query as a view and then call that view from within the other queries, or just run it by getting the result as an independent query. Go here to create a new view, clicking on the icon, create a view. The default name is new view. We can just copy that code for the nested query or type our query here. This is the query that returns the average computer sales. And then apply. Before apply, we should decide what is the name of the query. The default name is new view. We can call this average computer price. And apply. Here's the code that the computer uses to implement the view. Using the database, create, replace view, the same name we applied here. Remember, if you don't put the name, the same default name of new view will be saved. And then the code we added. Apply. And finish. This is the entire code that is used for creating the view. Now if we go to ECD views and open the views, we should see our view here. Here is average computer price. Whenever you want to run this, you will get the same number just as any other query. Now this view works just like a table. You can use the name as a table name. You can use the field names if you do have multiple field names, just like any field name for the table. Now we can go back to the main query and just call this. So here I'm going back to query editor using the same code we had before. This is a nested query. I'm deleting this. So I do have my main query. Up to this point, sale item dot sale price greater than, well, here is where we used the nested query. Rather than nested query completely, I can just call the average computer price view. And we handle the saved view just like a table. So select everything. So we know that the query returns just a number from average computer price. Close the process, end of the query, and run. And we get the same results. And that view is there. We can always check the code of any saved view, run the view to make sure it works, and if we want to get additional information, how many columns are there, what's the name of the column, data type, etc.